Sell with questions and not with answers. Hey, what's up? This is Pete here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you 7 killer sales questions that can take your client from a interested to a I am ready, let's do this. So before we get into the video, a little bit of an introduction of why this is so important, because think about it, you must have had this situation, right, where you are sitting down with your ideal client, they're in front of you, and you're thinking, I know I can help this person. I know that I can make a transformation in their life, or I can improve their business, whatever it is that you sell. And then instead of asking impactful questions, instead of engaging that person by getting them to think more deeply about why it is that they're seeing you in the first place, what they want to achieve, what's their ultimate goal, and how they're going to get there, you go into motormouth mode and simply start talking at them about your product. So for this video, these 7 questions can be the game changer in your business. Without any further delay, let's get into it. Question number 1, can you tell me more about X or Y? Yep, it's that simple. This is one of the most underrated questions in sales. And the reason for it is because most people, when you ask them a question, they give you the basic answer, but as a salesperson, and you are a salesperson if you're selling any product or service, it's really important that you know exactly what is going on in the mind of the buyer. So by asking this question, you're giving that permission, you're actually giving that space for that individual to think a little bit deeper and then to share and open up more to you. And with that info, you then can take into the next question, which is question number 2, specifically, why is this a challenge? When you ask a general question, you get a general answer. Why are you watching this YouTube video? You might say, because I subscribe to your channel. By the way, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button, tell your friends, get them here as well, and let's keep these videos heading in your direction. But you get my point. You've got to get to the specifics of the challenge that your client or customer is facing. People buy when they are inspired to buy. People also buy when they feel they learn something new, but people predominantly buy when you're relevant to them. It's this whole thing about selling value, and I see it, I actually see it all over YouTube, but I see people posting, you've got to sell the value. No, you don't, because the value is all about your product. What you've got to be able to do is get to the root cause of why your client is speaking to you. They can only buy at the level of their awareness. So if they give you general answers and you just reply to that, then maybe they haven't even realized the importance, the value of even seeking out a solution. Maybe they're just in this whole interested phase. By asking specifically, why is this a challenge? Now your client has the opportunity to step back, think more deeply about the issues or problems, challenges that they've got, and then to have that aha moment, because it's the aha moments that sell. With this one question alone, I could do an entire YouTube video on. So let me know, maybe I'll do another video just on this question. But let's move on to question number 3. I know what X or Y looks and feels like for me. What does it look and feel like for you? This is such an impactful question. Now, the reason why it's so good is because most of the time when we're selling a product or service, we make these bold assumptions. First of all, we get a general answer from someone like question 2, and we don't ask anything specific. And then we just make this big promise, and it's no wonder why the client you're sitting with or on the phone with says, look, I need to go away and I need to think about this. So let's put this into some everyday context. I know what successful sales looks and feels like in my business. I know what my day will feel like. I know how I show up. I know the sort of revenue that my business will do. So I've got that, and that's my meaning of it. But what does successful sales look and feel like for you in your business? Now for you, you might already be turning over 20 million a year, and now you're looking to take it to your business to 100 million. So how it looks and feels will be drastically different compared to my business. However, you might just be starting out on day number 1, and just to make your first few sales is your priority. But if you don't ask that question, I know what X or Y looks and feels like for me. What does it look and feel like for you? You're never going to find out the specifics of what is going on in your client's mind. Question number 4, what's the number 1 outcome that you want? People buy what they prioritize. At the end of the day, you may feel that you've got the best solution on planet Earth for your client, but if that solution is at number 8 or number 3 on that client's priority list, they are still not going to buy from you. By asking what the number one outcome is that they want, it allows your client again to think a little bit deeper about, well, what is important? And also as well, bear this in mind, people get distracted. You cannot focus a sales solution if you are talking about 5 or 6 different things. I've been in that situation far too many times where I'm in a meeting and we start off talking about one thing, then we go down this rabbit hole and then another one, and before we know it, I'm in conversation with my client about 7 or 8 different things. You tell me how you're meant to sell 7 or 8 different topics, not even that are related sometimes. The answer is you can't. You have to have that focus. The way to sell with ease and to feel confident is to get your client focused. Great way of doing that is getting straight to the point, saying, hey, it's so great that you're coming to see me today, or thanks for calling, and I appreciate that you're on the line right now. Do you mind if I ask before we go any further, what is the number one outcome that you want? And then give your client the space to answer. Question number 5, how long has this been a problem for? A lot of sales is about putting things into context with your client, because day to day, your client is not thinking necessarily about the solution that you've got and how important it should be in their life. They're just thinking, I've got to get through the day, they've got a massive long priority list, and maybe the thing that you can help them with, let's say for example, you're a beauty therapist, you can help them improve their skin. Well, that might be important to them, but their dog, paying their bills, their job, keeping up with their home, everything else is going to be on top of looking after their skin. So the way that you can really get to the root cause, because again, of all the tips I'm sharing with you and all these questions, it is fundamentally about getting to the root cause of why that person is on the phone with you or in a consultation with you. What you must do is establish that starting point. Let's do this directly now with you. You are on my YouTube channel. The chances are you're not selling quite to the level that you want, right? Maybe you're like nowhere near where you want to be. You might have been in business how long? 5 years, 10 years? So my question to you is, how long have you not been selling at the level you know you should be? Now, you see how that starts to change how you think about the problem. If you've only had a sales problem for one day, well, I'm not going to value a solution because it's just been one day. Next week I'll be fine. In fact, maybe this afternoon I'll be okay. But if you can reflect and say, wow, actually, I've been struggling to sell since I started my business 8 years ago. And that's why I'm watching this video right now. How much more valuable does a solution or potential solution become when you know that you've had that problem for 5 years? This is one of my favorite questions. I shouldn't have a favorite, but knowing how long my client has struggled with X or Y for can be a great place to start, because you'll see the shift in their body language. Don't be surprised if you sell a real life-changing solution, that when you get to the root cause with someone, say, hey, listen, let's have a real honest conversation here. How long has this been going on for? That person literally kind of wells up in tears. What matters is that you have as much context around your client's problems and also, of course, where they want to go. Let's move on. Question number 6, how long do you feel it will take to fix? Rather than preaching at your client, which like 99% of salespeople and anybody trying to sell a product or service usually does, why don't you just ask them? Just take the pressure out of the room completely. When you talk at your client, they will feel pressured. But remember this, people want to buy, but nobody wants to feel sold to. And especially if you follow on from the previous question of how long has this been a problem for? If they told you, well, actually, I think it's been like 5 years. Well, you say, okay, well, this has been going on for 5 years. How long do you feel it's going to take to find a real solution and actually to get to the goal that you want? Now, instead of you doing the selling, your client is selling to themselves. Believe me, this will make life so much easier for you. You will turn a sales pitch into a natural conversation. The great thing here as well is that you get a chance to understand where your client is in terms of their awareness. If they turn around to you and say, well, you know what, I guess it's going to take about 6 weeks, and you know that a solution really is going to take a year, you can say, hold on a second, do you really believe you just told me you've been struggling with this for 5 years and you can fix this in 6 weeks? And you kind of give them that look, just don't even need to talk. they can say, oh yeah, that's a good point. I've done this countless times. I've generated thousands and thousands of dollars or pounds time and time again as a result of following these sorts of questions. It takes the pressure out of the room and it allows your client to realize for themselves that they need to move forward. Question number 7, what is your ultimate goal? At the end of the day, all that matters is your client's ultimate goal. I've mentioned throughout all of these questions that you've got to get your client focused. If you can get your client focused on that one ultimate goal that they want to achieve, and by the way, they may kick back straight away and say, I don't really know. And you can say, well, let's explore it right now. If nothing was stopping you and you had the next year to focus on whatever it is that you can help them with, then what would be your ultimate goal? What would it look like? What would it feel like? Let them do the talking. It's that simple. In fact, I'm not even going to say anything else about this question right now. I want to take it in and ask you just one more question. What is your ultimate goal? 1 year from now, where do you want to be in terms of selling? Where do you want to be in your business? What sort of clients do you want to bring in? How easy do you want it to be that you have this natural conversation with a client, like your dream client, and you move them from a not even interested to a, wow, this sounds really good, to, yeah, I'm ready, let's do this. So there you have it. Ladies and gents, that is my 7 killer sales questions. At the end of the day, you can do marketing. You can put yourself out on social media. You can have a YouTube channel. Nothing wrong with that, by the way. You can do all the tricks, the hints, the strategies in the world. But if you don't lock down your sales consultation or your sales meetings, then you will never reach your full potential. I want to say a big thank you for checking out this video today. Once again, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, do it now. Comment below. Let me know your favorite question. Add some of your favorite questions below as well. If you want me to go into more depth with any of these questions, because every single question I shared with you, there's at least like 1 to 100 separate YouTube videos on each of those. So I'm gonna keep these videos heading in your direction. Let's make it happen. And remember, it's the questions that you need to sell with, not the answers. The answers actually need to come from your client, because when your client identifies that, oh my goodness, this is a priority and I do need to take action, and they feel that internal pressure. When we have an internal pressure, we want to move forward, we want to take action, and you will be that solution. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.